Now I want to get our panel reaction. We're going to be joined by Brilyn Hollyhand, who is the editor-in-chief of the Truth Gazette, and the chairman of the Alabama Republican Party, John Wall. All right, let's break it all down with the panel. Chairman of the Alabama Republican Party, John Wall, and Brilyn Hollyhand. Good to see you both.
Yes, sir. Good to be here.
All right, Chairman, I'll start with you. How did last night go?
Well, I've been asked that question a lot, and I think,
I'm sure you have.
I think what we saw on stage was a lot of passion. The word I use, if I could describe it in one word, is spirited.
Yeah.
And there's conversations afterwards. One of the guys I was talking to last night said, "Well, I would have used aggressive." And I was like, "You're in Alabama.
Sure.
We talk. We use polite terms."
You guys might. None of them were from Alabama.
Look. In Alabama, we call aggressive spirited because that's just what.
Oh,
we
bless
are.
your heart.
That's right.
But look, I know, and it's not a question of trying to tip the scales. Do you think someone stood out last night?
I think for me, the guy that I think stood out was Ron DeSantis.
Okay, why?
I think he's upped his game since the other debates. He
It's interesting, by the way, because David Axelrod said that, and then a bunch of people on the right said that, and it was interesting to see how there was sort of a general agreement. And again, it wasn't a bad good. It was just, hey, he upped his game. Well put.
He's upped his game, and was more aggressive, and he never got trapped by Haley. Haley several times tried to get him back in a trap, and he always was just like, "No, I did this."
Right.
Bam. So I think it was a very good debate for him. Haley always does well on a debate stage, right? Like it suits her personality, her quick one-liners back. That's always good for her. The two guys on the two ends, like the fighting back and forth. I think the candidates got stuck talking to each other instead of talking to the American public.
Right. Brilyn, the chairman mentions how you guys handle things in Alabama, much more polite. I asked Vivek this morning about his style. How does that go over with young people?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you this. So the chairman and I hosted an after party last night. Right
Thanks for the invite.
Yeah.
Wow, this is embarrassing. What else are you guys doing? This is awkward.
We did get the memo though on matching our jackets today,
yeah.
though, so we did pass that. Yeah, so we coordinated the state party and our youth council, coordinated on this after party. It was filled with young voters from all across the state and some, students here at the university. And I asked them, not as a reporter, just curiosity, what were your thoughts? And they said they didn't like the two ends. They didn't like the going at each other. They felt that we as a country should be able to have a discussion, go into an opening statement of just talking about what are the best credentials of your candidacy, and we saw it right out the gate in the opening statement.
It's funny because online, I said this to Vivek this morning, a lot of conservative activists, grassroots activists, right, really were saying, go for it, Vivek, right? Again, this is, from an analytical standpoint, having been in Iowa, growing up in New England, for a lot of older voters, which is where those caucus goers and primary goers come from, that demographic, I don't know that sits well with them. I get it. People who are not used to, who don't like the establishment, who want change, I bet you they loved what he had to say. But I don't know that a lot of older voters that make up the primary system in New Hampshire and the caucuses in Iowa are gonna
respond to that.
Yeah. Sean, we're 39 days out from the Iowa caucus. I mean, it's really, really coming up to the time. This was the last debate before the end of the year. I agree with the chairman. I think Ron DeSantis stood out the most because he can run on his message of the platform of Florida and everything he's accomplished there, as opposed to just zingers after each other.
Well, I've always wondered, by the way, I've done the state party dinner last year, I think it was, very supportive of President Trump, but that was before all the candidates. Do you think, what is the percentage makeup, do you think, of the Alabama activists, Trump versus the other candidates?
I mean, look, this is Alabama, and I'm just going to be honest about it.
Yeah, so that's what we want.
And I really think, look,
appreciate that.
I'm going to go back to Vivek just for a second if I can, because we actually hosted him night before last.
Yeah, I heard.
Great event. And look,
wasn't invited to that either, by the way.
Vivek brings up some really, really good points. He really does.
Yes, he's a smart guy.
And look, he talks about things no one else is talking about. I respect that. And that's what debates are about. I actually think Vivek is stronger. Like, he was stronger the night before the debate when he had time to speak for 15, 20 minutes straight. You come across with just so much more content than on a debate stage. So,
well, you can elaborate, right? You're not I could watch those guys obviously I can't see what they saw, but they have a clock that says 90 seconds, and when you know it's winding down, you're like da 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 da, right? You have to get it all out versus having the time to really lay out an argument.
And the elephant in the room, Donald Trump. So we had DeSantis in March for our winter dinner. We had Trump at our summer dinner. We had Vivek the night before last. and I'm just going to tell you, here in Alabama, the people of Alabama have a special relationship with Donald Trump.
Yes.
It's just, it's the way it's going to be. It's the way it is. Our state loves Donald Trump. I think if you're talking about activists, 60, 70% are
right.
Trump.
So when you guys have that contest on Super Tuesday, you think, I mean, Trump is
I think it's going to be, Trump will be the leading candidate in my opinion
Yeah.
in Alabama. I don't see any way that anyone passes him in the next round. Look, Trump has kept the lead for 4 years. You know, traditionally in a presidential cycle, you're like, okay, you want to peak at the right time, right? You know, because people usually get tired of the front runner and then someone else overtakes, and it's you want to be the front runner on during the primary, you know, January, February, March. Trump has been the front runner for 4 years. I don't see anything in the next 3 months that's going to change that.
What were your big takeaways last night, Brilyn?
Well, I'll say this as for Trump comment. As he mentioned, the president was just here. He was here in August. I, got to meet with him backstage beforehand. We set an attendance record here in the state of Alabama. That was the largest attended state party dinner. That's huge. That shows how much support the former president has still in here in Alabama, even without being here this weekend. Major takeaway, if you ask me who won this debate, I'd say Megyn Kelly. I think out of the debate, yes, her question,
Why?
it was so good. I turned to the guy that was sitting next to me. The very first question of the entire debate was to Ron DeSantis. She said, look, you were the shining star of the party.
About electability.
Exactly, electability, which is the question we've all been wondering secretly, but nobody's asked them.
But don't you think it's of all of them?
I think Sean Spicer should have been on the panel though. Like, that's
should have
my
been, yeah.
complaint about
Well,
the
this is you
debate.
just trying to make up for not inviting me to the big after party.
And look, I didn't get to be chairman for nothing. Like, you got
smart move.
Yeah.
What didn't you hear last night? I mean, Brilyn, you talked about what we did hear. What didn't you hear? What issue do you think Republican voters didn't hear about?
2 things for me.
Yeah.
One is I would have liked to have seen some more questions about youth.
Yes.
And we were on a college campus first debate this.
But why?
cycle
Let me
on
ask you
campus.
this. Okay, although all due respect to Brilyn, like, why? Because they're not Iowa. I've said everything matters in Iowa.
Old people vote, right?
No. But it's not just old people vote. And I'm being serious though. Is that to me? I think we waste too many questions on issues that don't move the needle, right? So, again, I love the youth enthusiasm that you've brought, that so many others on this campus bring. But my point is, you're not going to be the nominee if you don't make it out of Iowa and New Hampshire. So telling me that there's a big enough constituency of young people is nice, but is it going to matter?
Well, for me, this was an opportunity as a 4th debate, right?
Okay.
We've already had 3, 4th debate on college campus. Do 1 round of questions on youth.
Okay.
And look, the bottom line is, what would make America better for youths makes America better for everyone.
Well, we did get a question on student debt and student loans.
Yeah.
And I thought Vivek handled that really well,
He did.
tying that, or was it Ron DeSantis, or that tied it to your loan
DeSantis,
having the
yes.
university have some skin in the game, which
Yes.
is good. We didn't even bring up those university presidents, though, which I
come up
thought,
once, yeah.
right.
Unfortunately.
Well, what else? See,
To me, the big issue that was missed, and I see this all the time, and I don't know if it's consultants or who's missing this. You know, Democrats are attempting to use the issue of abortion and hit Republicans over the head with it, right? They say we have trouble with middle-aged women. Well, we've seen what the answer to that is on our side. It's parental rights and school choice. We saw it in Glenn Youngkin's race in Virginia.
Right.
Ron DeSantis winning Florida by 20 points.
Yep.
Republicans need to be talking about those issues. That's our hammer on the Democrats, and they're hitting us, and we're not.
but I think that's right. There's too many times that we're not communicating. What about you?
Yes. Well, Sean, let me say this. I've been on the campus all week. I live here, but I've been walking around talking to people. What we've heard from young people is they're excited that we actually came here. We're excited that we gave them the opportunity because on the other side, they're having a coronation with Joe Biden. They just, kind of propped him up there. They don't do debates. We're actually giving them the option to speak directly to the candidates. Viva Crosswan was doing laps running around this quad the other day. Ron DeSantis did a rally right out there by the quad. They're actually on the campus being accessible.
No, I get it.
In this debate, I'll tell you this, and you know statistics better than anybody. We had a 1,000-seat capacity last night. We had over 7,000 enrolled students at the University of Alabama request tickets. Young people are eager
Look,
for change.
I get it. I think it's great.
Yes.
I'm just saying, I want more people. Believe me, we need more young people.
It's the job of the party.
I know.
Young people,
But
candidates are looking for
You're
votes.
doing a great
right?
job
Yes,
there, Chairman.
yeah.
All right, Chairman John Wall, Brilyn Hollyhand, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. Thanks again. Thank you to the University of Alabama for hosting us, for News Nation, for making this look so beautiful. We'll be back tomorrow. We've got a great conversation with Logan Sekulow. You know his dad. He's the attorney that defended Donald Trump in that impeachment trial. He's got a brand new Christmas movie out. We're going to break down because there's some familiar faces in that. Thanks for watching. Continue to subscribe. By the way, if you're listening on audio, go to YouTube and Rumble and check out the beautiful shots that we have. Thanks to the drone operator for some amazing overhead things. We'll see you back here tomorrow on The Sean Spicer Show.